हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, यूट्यूब चैनल सोशो क्लासेस में आपका स्वागत है। आज हम इस वीडियो में बीए 5th सेमेस्टर इंग्लिश कंपलसरी के मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस डिस्कस करने जा रहे हैं। ये आपका पेपर मैक्सिमम मार्क्स इसके 45 होंगे। टाइम अलाउड 3 आवर्स। सबसे पहले नोट, अटैम्प्ट ऑल पार्ट्स ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस टुगेदर। सेक्शन ए, जिसमें फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन होगा अटैम्प्ट 1 आउट ऑफ 2 विद रेफरेंस टू कंटेक्स्ट, 5 मार्क्स। पार्टिंग विद हिज पॉइजन फ्लैश ऑफ diabolic tale in the dark room, he risked the rain again. Much have I seen and known, cities of men and climates, councils, governments, myself not least, but honoured of them all. The peasants came like swarms of flies and buzzed the name of God 100 times to paralyze the evil one. And next, come look at Kalandi closer in the crocodile tears of false press statements. The god rain turned away with his face. There was not one leaf left on the trees for super. And next, one equal temper of heroic hearts made weak by time and fate, but strong in will to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. And next, how dull it is to pause, to make an end, to rust unburnished, not to shine in use, as though to breathe were life. And then, how could we then walk into the celebrated portals of the 21st century, leaving Kalandi behind? And then my mother only said, "Thank God the scorpion picked on me and spared my children." And then the whole village, a graveyard, cracked ground, drab river sand, all the plans failed. And then life piled on life, were all too little, and of one to me little remains, but every hour is saved from that external silence, something more, a bringer of new things, and while it were. And then put away the road maps now. To go there, you do not need helicopters anymore. Wherever there is hunger, there Kalandi is. Students, इसके अलावा बाकी सारे सब्जेक्ट्स के मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस और सिलेबस के वीडियो यहीं पे मिल जाएंगे, वहाँ से अपने पेपर की तैयारी कर सकते हो। इसमें सेकंड क्वेश्चन होगा अटैम्प्ट एनी 5 क्वेश्चंस इन 60 to 80 वर्ड्स, सेलेक्टिंग एट लीस्ट 2 फ्रॉम पोइट्री एंड 2 फ्रॉम प्रोज। What did Daisy accuse blacks of? How did the villagers react to the Scorpio bite? Why was Janib separated from her husband? Give a brief account of the miserable life of Kalandi. Why do individuals have no incentives to bring change in the existing system of corruption? Why does Ulysses decide to roam with a hungry heart? How is self-esteem related to communicative ability? What was Bhutta Singh's last wish? What did the holy man do to tame the poison of the scorpion? What does Hawk do for Daisy at the end of the play? And next, Ulysses is a heroic character. Why? How does the writer differentiate high self-esteem from low esteem? Describe Kalandi's condition in brief. Describe the climatic changes that have occurred in the past. Why is there a renewed interest in the issue of corruption now? What did the holy man do to tame the poison of the scorpion? And next, Ulysses still desire to roam with the hungry heart. Explain. What were the painful losses that people suffer in times of famine? What, according to the writer, are the causes and consequences of corruption? And then, why is self-evaluation significant? What does Hawk do for Daisy at the end of the play? And then describe Bhutta Singh and Janib's 6th wedding ceremony. And then, how did the holy man try to tame the poison of the Scorpio? What is Daisy's complaint against Hawk? How does Ulysses portray his fellow mariners? How does self-esteem have survival value? What does the poet mean by saying the whole village a graveyard? How does the writer define climate? And then, why does the writer want the policy measures to curb corruption to be assessed? Describe Bhutta Singh and Janib's relationship and explain I cannot rest from travel. How are self-esteem and survival value related? How did the poet's father react to the Scorpio bite. How many forms of corruption are there? Describe the disappear of Kalahandi. How does low self-esteem affect one's ability? What does the poet mean by saying the whole village a graveyard? Does the writer suggest that socio-economic conditions of countries have to be considered in finding solutions for climate changes? How? Explain I will drink life to the less. Attempt a pen portrait King Ulysses of Ithaca from the poem of Tennyson. Does Daisy symbolize the attitude of white Americans towards black people? Sustains your response. What are the ways in which governments can effectively curb corruption? Describe how the poet portrays the superstitious beliefs and practices of people in rural areas. What kind of changes did Jane bring in the life of Butta Singh? Why is there a renewed interest in the issue of corruption? Describe the relationship between Butta Singh and Jani from its beginning to its end. How can the government play an instrumental role in curbing corruption? How is King Ulysses an example of untiring spirit and restlessness? Bring out the difference in attitude of Daisy and Bully towards Hook. And how was the speaker's mother stung by the Scorpio? Briefly describe the condition of Kalahandi. Why does the writer plead for a long-term program to tackle the changes in the climate? Why does the writer mention that while corruption breeds poverty, poverty itself might cause corruption? And then answer any two questions out of 4 in 150 to 180 words, selecting one from poetry and one from prose. When the mother was stung by the Scorpio, how did various peoples of the village respond? What efforts did Butta Singh make to get his wife back? Describe Ulysses' dissatisfaction with his life of comfort and his desire to explore more despite his age. Describe briefly the 6 pillars of self-esteem. What insight into human relationship is provided by Knight of the Scorpio? Give a character sketch of King Ulysses based on the poem of Ulysses. According to Paleo Morio, what are the ways in which governments can effectively curb corruption? How would long-term programs help tackle the changes in the climate? Give a brief account of the life of Kalahandi. Elaborate how Tennyson brings the spirit of life alive through Ulysses. Does Daisy symbolize the attitude of white American towards black people? Sustain your response. What did the speaker's mother say when she recovered from the sting of the Scorpio? What does her statement demonstrate? What are the effects of drought and famine on Kalahandi and its people? What does the extract from Freedom of Midnight tell you about human relationship? Is the writer optimistic about finding solutions to the climate problems? Give reasons for your answer. What are the effects of drought and famine on Kalahandi and its people? On the basis of your reading of the poem Ulysses, give a brief character sketch of Ulysses. Describe the pains taken by Butta Singh to get his wife back. How would long-term programs help tackle the changes in the climate? How did different people respond different to the Scorpio bite? Describe the pains taken by Butta Singh to get his wife back. Section B. Write an essay in 400 to 500 words on any one out of 4 of the following: the right to speech, the COVID pandemic, challenges and opportunities, Indian political system, representation of women in media, the menace of black money in India, superstitious beliefs and practices, man and environment, traveling as a part of education, global warming and the future of mankind. Are we happier than our forefathers? The happiest day of my life, youth power, terrorism, a phenomena. Man is the architect of his own fate. Knowledge is power. If I were the Prime Minister of India, communal harmony, art of living, global warming, racial discrimination, the COVID pandemic, challenge and opportunity, racial discrimination. रिपीट हो गए हैं ये. इम्पैक्ट ऑफ सिनेमा ऑन यूथ, इंडियन जुडिशियल सिस्टम, इम्पॉर्टेंस ऑफ स्पोर्ट्स इन लाइफ, चंद्रयान 3, इंडियाज मून मिशन, गॉड हेल्प दोज हु हेल्प themselves. Give the utterance of any 10 out of 15 of the following. ये यहाँ से आप देख सकते हो. इस तरह से इसमें से भी आपके ये पूछे जा सकते हैं, कुछ और भी हो सकती हैं. इनकी तैयारी आप अच्छे से कर लेना. एंड 6th क्वेश्चन, करेक्ट एनी 10 आउट ऑफ 15 ऑफ द फॉलोइंग सेंटेंस, 5 मार्क्स के होंगे। ये इस तरह से हो सकते हैं, यहाँ से आप देख सकते हो। बाकी सारे सब्जेक्ट्स के मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस के वीडियो और सिलेबस के वीडियो यहीं से मिल जाएंगे, आप अपनी तैयारी कर सकते हो। एंड नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, करेक्ट एनी 10 ऑफ द फॉलोइंग सेंटेंसेस। ये उसी में के अंडर ही आता है, ये अलग से नहीं है। ये हेडिंग दोबारा से इसमें आ गई है, लेकिन ये सारा एक में ही है। थैंक यू सो मच। मिलते हैं हम अपने अगले वीडियो में।